Okay. So, I have in my list of things to do here, in the one folder I have 24 different games still for this feedback quest. And technically I got a 25th one, but that one was on Steam. They don't have an itch downloadable, so it's not in that folder, but otherwise I do actually have 25. I'm looking at about 10 of them right now that I might do tonight, depending on how I feel, depending on how long these take. And I'm not really sure which one I want to start off with. I think I'll start off with You Are the End, which is a roguelike tower defense. And it kind of makes me think of Kingdom, but I don't know if it's going to be like Kingdom, until I actually play it. Alright, Chapter 0, The Fall. Chapter 0 of The Fall. Uncover the truth. Press any key. I'm going to be turning you down so I don't go deaf. Alrighty. So it's not, it's not an accordion, but it does kind of make me think of Obra Dinn a little bit. Alright, let's see. Controller? Yes. I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay. Use arrow keys to move left and right. Summon a unit by clicking its icon or by pressing the number keys. Each summon is a sacrifice. Your people pay the cost. Your population is both your currency and your health. Use it wisely. Wave 1 approaches. Wait. Wait. Is this... Well, they aren't doing so hot, are they? Well, this wasn't a very good start, was it? This is also just reminding me of that one Flash game. I don't remember the name of it, but... You just sent units at each other like that. When the light of dawn touches the broken crown, and something of hope and something descend as something, you're something for in something depths, you something find something only, something echo of something end you. What? Choose a card. Reduce summon delay of all units, permanently add 50 enemy population. The unite stands ready, sworn to the crown. Permanently gain 100 player population. The kingdom has fallen, you have failed. Okay. So, it's placing them at the side of your screen. It's not actually spawning them in a set location. There is basically no reason to ever use these guys. They suck. They basically cannot kill anything. Okay, so controller support is basically, I can do this. I can go left and right, and yeah, there you go. Can I... No. No. That is actually it. There are no other buttons. So, they need to not be spawning right at the left side of the screen. They need to be spawning from the actual throne room, not wherever you're happening to look. Or, well, happening to be looking at that particular point in time. And the promise of hope still lingers to send as the... Okay. Why do they walk back a little bit? I also think that the music is overlapping itself. I think it is two separate songs trying to play at the same time. I mean, they're better. Not amazingly so, but they're at least able to do something. Kind of. Doesn't really help that the enemies all basically have massive AoEs and... well, they gotta walk up to them, so... there's no reason to spam. You cannot take this out. You're just seemingly just waiting. Oh, as you get lower health, it actually darkens the screen. That's a nice little touch. Okay, reduces delay of all units bound by blood and honor. Huh. Okay. I thought this would start filling out as you are choosing those end cards, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Just the fourth fall, reminder of your failures. So I mean, like, the art back here is good. Is that saying something? Wait, is that like the dev's name right there? I really can't remember the name of that Flash game though. Age of War or something? Like, you start off in the Unga Bunga age and you can only send just cavemen in each other, and then it slowly scales through the different, you know, ages, and, you know, eventually ends up with you being in like future age and having a, like a, was it like a halo tank or something that's floating? Age of War, I think it was? I don't really remember. If I remember correctly, though, it was a fairly popular one back in the day. I think they made like 4 of them. And I think they made a fantasy spin-off or 2. Ah, yes, the evil knights that all have glow sticks. Dear God. Yeah, that's not filling out, seemingly. So... It's really quite rough, and there really isn't much you can do to really influence it. Like, you are just going to fail by design a bunch of times. Yeah, even the Red Knight is not exactly doing too much here. Okay, you know what? Out of curiosity, Because I kind of am curious what happens if we reach that point. Can I? Can I? Can I do this? I don't know. Hold on. No. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, there we go. It does work. Okay, well, there we go. Next run, yep. Okay. Yeah, even the third most expensive unit that you can spawn basically can't do anything. They just drop. So, balancing is a massive issue here. Balancing is a massive issue. The fact that you basically have no way of really... Like, you are better off just not even attempting to do anything and just letting them bum rush to the end so you can then just pick another one of these. Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. You can actually do something. So, this is probably what should be happening to begin with. You know, it's like, this is why I thought it was going to be, like, ever so slightly like Kingdom. Because Kingdom, you do actually have a unit in the game that you can move around and do stuff with. It's also very stiff here. I don't know if it's really too visible on how stiff the controls for him are, but yeah, it's quite stiff. You can jump. I don't think there is a reason to do so. There also seems to be a bit of a... Yeah, like, can you see that? You can kind of cheese the attacks. You can do an attack and then kind of move while the second swing is happening. There is no sound effect on the swing either, so that's also another... There was even an animation for that one. I'm still not sure if I'm hearing two different musical tracks just overlaid. Are they just ignoring him? Is that a bug? Okay. Did we win? Okay. Well, I think that is... Okay, you cannot in fact hit escape and close the game off. Alright. Oh wait, hold on, I can just... Yeah, there you go. Okay. Okay, reset game. No. Uh-huh. Okay. So the only way to close it is by Alt F4. Okay. Alright, so... Yeah, that's... a little rough, isn't it? It's pretty bare bones, quite frankly. I mean, I don't know what else to really say about it. It needs work in, well, a lot of different things. I guess the graphics are fine, but yeah, like actual gameplay, the what basically is tantamount to arbitrary difficulty. You basically have no fighting chance. Your beginning unit that you start with, you are actually better off never even using a single time. Like, the idea that you are trying to conserve your, your resource, your civilians' lives here is not a terrible idea. Like, you kind of do the same thing again with games like Kingdom. You need to keep your civilians alive, and then you need to calculate whether or not, having a few of the soldiers dying, is that going to be worth the loss of a able-bodied person? Well, sometimes it is. But you don't really have any kind of tactical choice here. It is hit button, unit dies, more than likely. They don't really take a whole heck of a lot of damage. The monsters, it's just, it needs a lot of work across the board. I'm still not sure if the music was overlaying it over. I don't know if it was two songs playing over each other or if it was just one that just sounds like it. The sound effects are not great. Like, you get a sound effect on the main menu being, started, initiated, and then the king unit has no sound. There's no sound effect on the jump, the attack, taking a hit. It, it needs work. But that'll be it for that one. So I will be moving on to the next one, and we will be doing... Right, there it is. There's the EXE. Next one up is called Attrition. It is seemingly legally distinct Advanced Wars. Advanced Wars? I never actually... Ooh, God. It's very loud. I never actually played too much of the... of that game, so I don't even really remember what the heck it's properly called. I was never a particularly big fan of it. It was a series that kind of missed me by. Alright, so we are going to be doing Attrition. Let's see. Our art here is... I mean, I like the fact that you can see that there's 3 different teams there, but... Okay, blue is just deleted. They're gone. Congratulations on your recent promotion, Commander. I know it's a little sudden, but we need someone to guide us in battle. Unfortunately, the previous commander was KIA during the battle at Fort Force, so I've been assigned to explain how we handle things around here. Sorry, what? A dice? This dice indicates how many movements we have available for this turn. Okay, you can use them to move a single troop or spread amongst... Yep. Okay. So do you see... Yeah, I think right there is how many movement turns you have left. Right, next is Bertas. Okay. We just finished constructing our headquarters commander. This will be our command center, which means you'll have to protect it. Yep. 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 Yes. Okay. So, does that actually do anything? Does this give you extra attack or range? Alright, I only had 4 movement. You know, it's like, are these helipads, or are those like capture points. Yep. That's a lot. Each turn we receive reinforcements based off how many active bases we currently have. To place them, select an empty space next to a base. Yep, okay. Or if we've reached the troop limit. Okay, we can have up to 15, so that's... I don't know how that would really pan out, because if you're only having 2 dice at this point now, and 15 potential units, that's a lot. Attack. That's not a heck of a lot of sound for attacking a unit there. I mean, I definitely should have lost a unit there, but we didn't. So can you not move while you are next to an enemy? I don't know if it said anything on that. So the dice being the primary way of moving stuff around is different and kind of annoying. You can build an outpost and only require that the troop remains there. Okay, so those are HQ points. Can you do the... So it does actually give you attack range. The enemy is putting up more of a fight than we anticipated. We'll have to use the terrain to defeat them. So there's garrisoning buildings, but a light version of it. So there is actually... Wait, was I not allowed to actually put in reinforcement up at the top left one? We'll attack enemies further away. Yeah. Yes, I know. I got it. I thought the extra outpost was supposed to give me an extra dice. Oh, it did. Oh, God. I also have some trenches made out of sandbags. I mean, that's not really a trench, but alright. The troop will only take 1 point of damage. So everyone being attacked from the side where the sandbags are. Why are the sandbags more powerful than the buildings, though? I think it is. Because I think it was saying that the building would only reduce damage by 1. But the sandbags are basically making you invulnerable from a direction. Hope my adventures are going well. Well... Tonight, I've only done... What is it? I did You Are the End for the first part there, and that one is in an extremely rough state right now. And this one is... It's alright. The dice making it so that you can't have all your units act is a major hindrance. It's... I don't know how to feel about it. Because it's like, on one hand, for games like Advance Wars, mid and late game, especially in some of the bigger maps, it becomes just kinda, well, a waiting game. You're watching units just move across the map en masse and then dying. The dice system is making it so that you can't move all of them at once in a single turn. But that is also slowing the game down because it's more of the same type of issue, just in a different way. It's making the game slow. But now it's because you can't get enough guys to their HQ to quickly take it out. Squadron is going to flank the enemy from behind in 3 turns. If we can't destroy the enemy's headquarters, we'll just have to repel their soldiers until then. Well, I mean, I can't even get to the thing. And right now, I don't even know if we have different unit types, because right now it's all infantry. Let's see, full throttle. Well, there you go. Wait. You won, L. I guess we're gonna take the L on that. Challenge? No. So there's multiplayer? Or is it hot seat? Lutum Bertas Qualitas. Okay. Yeah, I think it is hot seat. So this screen right here could do with a bit of a improvement. I don't even know what these... Okay. I think this is hot seat. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. That's not a thing you see too much anymore, do you? Let's see, offer truce surrender. But... Huh? Why is that an option for a hot seat? Is this like a proof of concept for multiplayer, like online? And like they put that in there to make sure that they could get it to work for when they put this to online mode or something? I don't know. Demo missions. The 3 neighbors are at war once again. Oh god. What's the Ace Combat nation's urea? I don't know. Belkans, right? Like the Belkans are at it again. Alright, Commander, we were in the middle of building our new base when we came in contact with the enemy. We'll need you to give us orders to repel the attack while we finish establishing the FOB. I suppose it also bears mentioning that this does actually have controller support. Tell us if we should attack a nearby enemy or if you just want to wait a bit today. Yep. Oh. So, problem with the controller support there. If you want to end your turn, you need to actually bring the cursor over to it Start actually brings up the menu. Okay. Select ends the turn automatically. Okay. Sandbags don't really seem to be all that great. Well, maybe the infantry should have a like a zone of control. The fact that you can just kind of blitz past them just to go hit the HQ for a free shot is kind of a little cheap. Okay. Alright, now to watch this guy just go to the left and blitz through everyone just to hit the HQ again. Okay, cool. He can actually attack from there. So yeah, like I said, the dice system is... I don't know. I really think I would just prefer the standard thing that most of these types of games do, where, you know, everything just has a set amount of movement. Like, it's not awful. I don't hate it, but I'm also not a very big fan of it. Yeah, it's like, you can see how one guy gets to just walk more than halfway across the entire map in a single go. But then his brother John gets to move a single square there. Yeah, it's... I don't know. Maybe a hybrid system of it, where everything gets a set amount of movement speed and then you get this as an extra bonus. I could see that being a pretty decent system, because then it's like, oh, okay, you know, you're trying to, you know, attack an enemy, you know, like, rather than us defending now with just a sheer wall of dudes, maybe we're the ones that are actually trying to push, right? You know, and you might want to get like a dude here, you know, like you're pushing to this choke point, right? And it's like, okay, we can't attack there, you know, they have the defensive bonus there, but their flanks are a little bit more exposed. But then they have some guys in the back here, right? But we want to get one of our guys, like, here, just so that they can't reinforce their front line. You know, so while you have your dudes lined up, you know, peppering the other side, maybe you can give the one guy an extra square or two to move that far and actually start trying to, you know, make the crack bigger. But the entire system being like this, eh. I'm also not a fan that you can't use your HQs as a or not even your HQs, but your FOBs as a reinforcement point until your HQ can't put anything down. Feels like that's a little counterintuitive, or I don't know. Right. The music's fine though, but the sound effects are lackluster. I also, again, have no idea if there's even going to be other units to this. Is it just infantry, or are we going to have artillery, boats, helicopters, anything? Don't know. Kind of feel like a small quality of life thing as well is if there's only one enemy to attack, probably just auto do it. Oh, that's why there's an L on the thing, because it's lutum. Okay. It's just kind of funny seeing that pop up of just like, oh, you've won, L. Read the manuscript. Manuscript? Modify the game's options. Huh. Alright. I think I'm going to be done with that one. I think it might need a little bit more time to be refined. I don't have any real major issues with it. It kind of... Like I said, I think it... I think it needs to be worked on a little bit more. I would like to relook at this at a later point to get a better idea of what they want to do with it. Although apparently, it was actually... Hold on. This was saying it was like version 1.0 or something, didn't it? Yeah, 1.4. Alright, well, that is Attrition. It's okay. Not really vibing with it, you know. Alright, I'm gonna take a look at another one now called... Is it Polytropos? Yeah, Polytropos. Assuming I am saying that correctly. It looks like it is a Greek-influenced or Greek-flavored Heroes of Might and Magic. It has a bunch of Greek deities you can use that are going to be having different, you know, unit types. So Hades is apparently going to be undead. And, well, the demo doesn't let you use him. You know, the one I would want to use is not the one that is here that I can use. There are 2 that are disabled in the demo. But you have... Let's see, you have 4 in the demo here. But you have 6 in total right now. And Hades is one of 2 disabled. Because of course he would be. Oh dear. Welcome to Polytropos, a tactical odyssey. Echidna, mother of monsters, has unleashed hordes of... enemies upon the Aegean. Your hero must vanquish foes and amass strength through a 4-phase odyssey to achieve victory. Okay. Hero rerolls gained after climaxes. Hero starting resurrects. Hero max army. Why is there immediately from the start just 10 different difficulties? Patron is Athena. Can I... Odysseus, Achilles, or Atalanta? Can't say I'm particularly familiar with that person. So unlocks Achilles. Zeus has Atalanta. Let's see, Odysseus. Okay, so we're only allowed to use Odysseus right now. And you have... Let's see, so his patron deity is Athena. Athena uses strong defensive units. Her powers aid allies and enable clever strategies. Okay, well that's not really saying much. Starting prophecy, we have 8. I would assume that's currency. Not really sure what any of this does. There's no tooltips. Talent, wily, enemy units are much less likely to attack Odysseus. So he's going to be on the field itself? Wait, hold on, is there tooltips? Oh, there is. Increases the attack bonus of non-hero allies. Non-hero allies are your standard units. Zeal increases the potency of your hero's prophecies. Charisma increases the amount of kudos generated after each crisis. I don't know what that means. Phalanx. Targeted allies gain 25% defense for 0 turns. That doesn't seem like a very good starting ability. You can give an ally 25% extra defense for, well, never. The spearmen are not anti-cavalry, or just says shielded on that. Okay. Each phase starts and ends in the Acropolis. In an Acropolis, you can recruit units or buy virtues and resurrect your hero. Okay. I don't know why they decided to make the owl the tutorial thing. I guess someone played Legend of Zelda and thought that the tutorial owl that you can get in an endless loop with was a good idea. Alright, Mentor. Spend 500 drachma to improve a random epithet. No tooltip. Don't know what that is. Idle. Spend 20 kudos to gain 1 resurrect. Okay, well we could do that. Kudos are used to cast prophecies. Spend 500 drachma to improve a random epithet. Is this our HP of... yeah, okay. Okay. So the drachma icon makes me think more of like wheat seeds. It looks more of like food. Okay, so we can buy a Pegasus. Has a pretty respectable amount of HP. I don't know what the 10% attack is. Is he just, like, do Pegasi just have 10% more attack? And I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be, you know, trying to tell you. Like, is it just giving it more damage? The deer has fire breath. The Amazon has petrifying. Should I have bought the Gorgon? There's 4 of them, too. Well. Artemis, Wild Huntress. Wait, what? Buffed allied units gain 15% defense for 1 turn. Oh, that's the... Okay. Oh, okay. Wow, that's actually... Is this the first game in the entire game jam I've played where there's actually been an undo button? Because I've played 21 different games now, and I know that number exactly because... well... The website tells you how many you've actually, you know, rated and whatnot, so it's a very easy way of just keeping track of how many you've actually done for this thing. I think this is actually the first game that has already just had an undo button. Not just an undo button, but a redo button as well. So, you know, good job at having the initiative on that one. Alright, so 80 HP on them, 75. Yep, has the best HP. There's 4 of them, 15 to 20. So right here is kind of a complaint. I don't think there's an easy way of quickly just comparing the 2 units. You know, like left click and then compare the 2. Okay, so you can right click, but petrifying melee attacks do not draw retaliations. That's actually big. Attack bonus. Hovering over it does nothing. Echelon. Nope, no tooltip there. Okay, Owl. Mystery. Epithets. Or great unique. So is this the luck? It can only be... The final scene of each phase is a climate. Okay, I'm just gonna go. There looks to be a lot of different little mechanics going on here, so I just wanna... Earthborn. So it's like a golem? Choose how to proceed through a random event. Basic crisis. Battle foes to gain boons. Battle foes to gain boons. Battle foes to gain boons. Those are Sphinx? Okay. Reroll scenes. Do you only have a limited amount of rerolls? Okay. Alright, so you have a turn order at the top. Unit placement. You can kind of just put them up the front. I don't like the fact of the... I don't think you can... Yeah, it's just cycling through them slowly. I don't know if there's a way of actually selecting which unit you want to move. I mean, I guess you could just click on the same cell, but I'd really rather prefer just being like, you know, oh, okay, I want to move Odysseus specifically down there. I don't want to move anyone else. Everyone else is where I want them to be. But now I have to do that to finally get to them. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think that's the case. This is the battle music? I thought this was just like you placing units music. Okay. Alright, well, you know what? Right there. It's got the Might and Magic option of actually telling the game which cell you want to attack from, which is what another game I looked at a few days ago for this overall jam did not do. So that's also You know, again, another... You know, if you're going to be doing a Heroes of Might and Magic game, you should be doing that. You should have that as an option. +1 Charisma or Epithet. And additional unit placement options. Units gain 2 speed during first cycle. What does speed do? Just turn order, or is that how many cells they can move? Elfin Prophecies cost 20% less. Age is sparing. Hero is immortal during first cycle of crisis. Still not really sure what the cycle or crises are, but alright. Gain a resurrect for... First cycle of a crisis. Is that what we were just in? Is that technically the crisis? Being immortal, having him being invincible in the very first turn doesn't sound particularly useful unless the enemies were going to have a bunch of archers, but... I think that is probably the best one. Do I just get both of them? Battle tougher foes to gain boons. Yes. Battle tougher foe to gain boons. Single, just woman. Just a lady, you know. Who did I just spawn defend? No, you got an undo button. Alright. Yep, again, just actually having an undo button in case you accidentally double click. It's nice. I do think the music needs to get a little bit more variety here, though. Okay, well, I guess you guys can just kind of, yeah. Yeah, so the music is... like... this song is okay, but it's very repetitive. The battle music is... yeah... Hurricanes 10 to 30 damage. Well, that sounds pretty good. For 1 turn now. Oh boy. I think it's always been 1 turn, but it was showing 0 before. I think we're just gonna do tactics. Swift-footed. Hero gains 2 speed. Sounds pretty good. Get him to the front lines to take out a unit, maybe. Gain all unit placement. We already have that, though, don't we? No. Allied melee units gain +1, but deal 40% less damage. What the hell? I mean... you know, statistically speaking, that would probably be a good one to choose, because 2 attacks doing 60% damage is still, you know, potentially 120 damage, but I'm not sure if this game is dealing with armor and armor reduction and whatnot. So, you know, it's like if it's doing one of the systems where it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, where it's like, oh, 1 damage but 1 armor equals 0, you're still hitting 0. You know, even if you're hitting him 20 times, you're still hitting 0, so... +1 option when choosing scenes, moons, or armies. I mean, that seems okay, but most of the options seem pretty lenient already. Okay. 2 fire-breathing deer. A hind, even. Basic crises. Crisis. Flying and corrode. I thought that said crocodile. Oh, they're weak. Oh god, we're also scattered like leaves in the wind. Oh right, yep, I gotta, yep. Oh, it's so anticlimactic. It just sounds like some dude is just like, right, like, I'm gonna kill you. Ah! Imagine if that was the Dragon Ball sound effects for punching one, you know, just slap. Wow. Yeah. They were pathetic. As I kind of expected, really. This option just loves to pop up every time, doesn't it? Alright, we'll do long suffering. I guess... I guess Odysseus is like Miles O'Brien, he's just meant to suffer now. So... let's see. So we've done a bunch of things, but the Acropolis still has the same stuff. Do we have to reroll? Geogene? Shielded. They look like they suck. Barbarian. Ooh, the barbarian. Oh god, there's actually a lot of them though. Oh, they suck though. Climax. Striges? I don't know how to say any of these things. Striges are bloodthirsty owls. Polyphont and her sons were transformed into Striges for their practice of cannibalism. Okay, so they were basically rewarded with becoming an animal, and then they can just keep eating human flesh? I don't know. Probably isn't really a deal breaker for them, quite frankly, is it? How tough are they? Well, they have enough HP for it to actually be pretty concerning. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Well, that works. Flinger? No, that's an Amazon. Was, actually. I was about to say, I thought they could actually retaliate. They do not like the Gorgon. I can't really blame them, but... eh. I mean, it seems like it was a good choice picking the Gorgon. Just... the Acropolis not exactly having more options before we got to this point kinda sucks a little bit. I am surprised that the Earthborn is still alive. Well, it's been solved. So it's kind of a double-edged sword on them not actually focusing on the hero. Because now I don't have an army. I don't think you could really consider them an army to begin with, really, but... you know. Point is... He had his merry band of misfits and snake ladies, but now he has... well, half the amount of snake ladies and... I don't know. Some remnants of his frat club. 2 rerolls. Okay, so they are limited. Yeah, they're right there. 200 max health. Okay, heroic prophecy. Oh god. Target non-hero takes 210 damage and loses 20 defense. But it right now would cost basically a quarter of all my... What is it called? It's not mana, it's... Fear Kudos. Oh god. Alright. Eurus. Allies gain 4 speed for 1 turn. Still don't know what that's doing. Frenzy. Target unit gains 0 attacks until next turn. That's nice. Synthesize. Increase minimum damage of allies by 60 for 2 turns. How is that working, though? That sounds massive, though. There's no way that's as good as that sounds. No way. Because that would just mean that you could make, like, single stacks of hoplites, and they would just murder. Because 30 damage is outpacing the Gorgon. It would be turning everyone basically into a miniature Odysseus. Allied archers gain 1 attack, but no. And 40 kudos to gain 1 resurrect. No, don't need it. 1000 drachma, 24 basilisk. You don't really get a whole heck of a lot of choice for anything that makes money, either. I feel like some of the balancing here might be a little... off? Okay. To go... They can just go across the entire thing. Why can I not use the spell? I have the thing for it. I'm sorry, is that actually doing... How many turns? 2 turns. I love that the owl did absolutely nothing. So, Peltist. 72 damage, but what's the Pegasus doing? 22 to 18. They're not a good baseline to use. I don't know. What the heck was Kudos? Okay. So 8 mana whenever a hero defeats an enemy. And a reroll. Rerolling gives you 250 drachma. Yeah, but then... I don't know. I'm sorry. So is that something I should have just taken to begin with? Is that epic rank whatever? Mystify. Target non-hero loses its actions for this turn. Methodical strike target. I mean... Oh, the thing telling you the attack percentage, that's from your tactic. Okay. Does going back to the Acropolis effectively take up a turn? What are these, satyrs? No, they're lycanthropes. What the heck? That is an interesting picture for a lycanthrope. Okay. It looks more like a frickin' Wendigo or something. Sorry? Of course it has 2 attacks. I mean, there's no way I'm winning this one, so... Oh, and he has cleave. Well... I'll miss you, Gorgons. You served me well. I mean, it's not like it's not like it's going to take Odysseus very long to meet them up in Hades, is it? Just springs right back up in the same spot, like, oh, I'm dead. Actually. The end of Odysseus's Odyssey. Jesus Christ. Odysseus has caused enough dishonor to shame everyone. Like, permanently. How did I hit a negative overflow value? Negative 2.147 billion? Okay, that's interesting. Hey, am I supposed to be able to upgrade guys in this menu? 125 out of 0 points to level negative, well, 2.147 billion, which is like... What is it? That's not 255. 255 is the standard binary limit. What is this? 32-bit integer signed, I think. I don't remember. I think it's 32-bit limit. Enabled? What do you mean enabled? Locked. Automaton. Gorgon is locked. What do you mean it's locked? I had it. Huh? King's Prophecy. Not yet earned. Oh, these are trophies. Well, what is... Do they do anything, or are these just achievements? Oh, no. Catalog. Oh my god, are you kidding me? There's actually a speed up option? Okay, well... That would have been nice to know. No, that's really all that needed. They're already moving pretty quickly. Oh... Oh dear. Wait, I thought I couldn't use Adel... well, actually, I can't use anyone. Never mind. Oh, cool. So I just have 230. It's fine. He'll be able to talk his way out of everything. This guy will be able to fix everything. Never mind, they took my charisma away. Shit. Now, he couldn't talk his way out of a wet paper bag now. Okay. That's Polytropos. I think it needs a little bit of work. I think they have something there. I think it just needs a little bit more, you know, work and refinement. Also, why no Hades in demo? Come on. Really? Oh well, say la vie, I suppose. Okay. But yeah, I think they need to give the game a couple more soundtrack, you know, musical tracks. The sound effects are, well, quite frankly, pathetic. You have gorgons attacking things, you know, like a snake sound effect, a hiss, you know, like the sound of them turning to stone and shattering. Odysseus has a sword, you know, like a shink type of sound. You got the birds, the actual literal just owls, let alone the striges or any other number of things like a Pegasus, you know, a whinny, you know, wings beating sound for the birds moving or attacking. The sound design right now is lackluster, to say the least. The maps are simplistic in the fact that they are kind of being randomized and whatnot. You know, there isn't anything really all too much going on with them, and that's kind of a good and a bad thing. Hearts Heroes of Might and Magic, you have a couple of different scenarios. You have things like the sieges, which kind of changes up the formula a little bit. The fact that there are areas on these maps where, you know, if you have, say, Odysseus and there's a blue tile, okay, well, that's water. All right, fair enough. So that's a, you know, that's a good thing, but I'm gonna take a look at another one, though. I don't know, I can't really think much else to really say about Atropos, Polytropos, whatever. It's got a lot of unit variety, it's got a lot of things going on with it, a lot of mechanics, it looks like, a lot of potential spells and various other things, so again, it's one of those, it's another one where if they can work on it, I would like to check it out again to get a better idea of, you know, how it's going to be. But I'm going to do Demon's Revival next, and it was another game that I thought was kind of looking like it was trying to be another kind of Kingdom-like. But again, I didn't really look too hard. Guess we'll find out. Okay, we have Demon. We got... This is very Kingdom-ish looking. Hello player, thanks for checking out our game. We'd like to share a couple of things right away. This is a very early version, so the content is still limited. For now, you can try out the combat system and 9 event stories. In the future, we'll be adding base building. I'm sorry? I feel like... I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's actually one of the things that they're, like, advertising on their, you know, itch page where the demo is. I feel like that would probably be a kind of major thing to have in the demo, but alright. A full storyline, new mini-stories, and lots of other exciting features. Updates will come gradually as themed packs. Again, so that's the thing that Kingdom kind of did with, like, the Elf DLC or whatever the hell. I don't know how good doing basically DLC on itch is gonna go for you.
I know.
Our dude is smoking.
Awaken, my lord. I am Baphomet, chief advisor and loyal servant to your father. With his disappearance, my duty now falls to you, the new overlord of hell. Already a few wretched demons have crawled to your crypt, hoping to claim a fragment of your favor.
Yeah, just a few demons, just a few, you know, including one with big Bahanaga hoogs that are, you know, maybe a little bit of physics going on there.
My lord, this is your current form. Strange, is it not, to feel yourself as little more than a wraith? Your body still lies here in the crypt, binding your soul to this realm. But be warned, should your enemies destroy it, you will fade from this existence, and the reign of the new overlord will end before it even begins.
You may grasp demons with your spectral hand and hurl them. Click the portrait in the top left corner to seize all idle units of that type at once. Right mouse button to release every... Okay. Oh. Oh. Well, I didn't get to read that. Okay, so we definitely have some, you know, some demons of particular... Are they wearing a miniskirt? Warriors have been spotted at the very edge of your lands. They know no fear and are ready to barge into your territory. Okay.
Listen closely, Lord Without a Crown. We're not here for slaughter. We want our cut for peace. Share your provisions and a share of gold.
What just happened? I'm sorry, did a volcano just explode in the background or something? What was that?
Pay and you live in peace. Roads stay open and the raids pass your lands by. Refuse and we'll take your plate. We'll take payment in blood.
There's like 4 of you. No. Well, 3 of you even if he's not even going to join in. 1. Okay, we have 200 gold, we have 200 iron, 200 stone, and 200 meat, and 1,000 what I assume is mana. So we cannot grab him. Okay, you can kind of fling them actually, yeah. Well, kinda. They don't really seem to mind it either. Oh! There we go! I was trying to mouse to the edge of the screen to move the screen and that wasn't working. That is a very long fight, apparently. They did actually manage to completely chop the other succubus, demon lady, whatever, to absolute bits. Her arrow's just bouncing off. There you go. Oh, that looks nice. Kind of doing the weird thing with, like... what was it called? What's the thing that Disney did for some of its animations back in the old days, where they had, different planes? Parallax? Was it? Like they just had a... There's like 3 different layers in the background there going on.
Lord, we were nothing, just dust, but now we can crawl after someone who truly matters. Let us serve you.
Sure. So what is the current purpose of this game? Yeah, like, goal? You can't build anything. Are you just waiting for this bar to empty and then events happen? A growl tears through the silence like a warning. From the dark emerge twisted bodies, scavengers driven into a pack, their eyes empty, their movements mechanical, there is no will left in them. Like wild beasts, only the instinct of battle drives them.
My lord, for centuries they rotted in the dark, silent, forgotten and abandoned. No orders, purpose or hope. Their minds have long since clouded. Only habit remains. They won't hear us and they won't stop. Oblivion has swallowed them.
I will try to take them into my service. The coming of the true ruler will restore their wits, obviously. I mean, my call apparently went unanswered or unheard or whatever, but they still responded. They still had a name pop up, so why is she getting closer? So those little dudes dying kind of remind me of that orange juice or lemon cartoon. Oh hey, look at that, the background. I like that. I like that these things are actually moving around depending where you're looking. We've come for your riches, but... Okay. So, I like that that can happen, and, you know, that it looks nice. But, let's see. I don't really think there's a whole lot else to this game right now. This seems to be just about it. You just kinda... You get attacked, or, you know, you're waiting for this bar to fill up. An event happens. And then... I don't know, you can look at the big boobud... succubus archer. The air grows heavy, thick with the stench of blood, long spilled and already clotted. Strangers draw nearer. Their steps are slow and hesitant, as if they are locked in an inner struggle. Yet in their careless gait, there is a hint of impatience. Their bellies are swollen, their bodies and weapons spattered with the marks of an old slaughter. Will take a third of your subjects. My dear God. Yeah, I'm not really sure if you can even call this game a demo right now. I would call this more of like a proof of concept. You know, like I said at the very beginning there, without anything to really do, like actually doing buildings or anything, it's like you just kind of, I don't know, it reminds me of the, I don't remember the name of it, but that game there where you're basically just a king and you're like, it is basically just you looking at a single screen and things happen, or you read about things happening, and that's kind of what's happening here. Is like there is a whole heck of a lot happening here right now. You know, you can't use any of your resources. It's just you kind of waiting for something to happen. And yeah, you can pick up units and move them, but seems like it's it seems like it's pretty much just going to be a lot of this, because it's already been a lot of this. You know, a couple of these guys pop up, and then occasionally you get yeah, I mean, it's just pretty much always boiling down to a fight there, isn't it? So, the sound effects here are fine, but, like, having choices in the... Yeah, like, oh, you're gonna fight them has no sound effect on that, so... Don't think that has a sound effect either. Double tap acceleration? Hey, that's a weird way of putting it, but yes, that is actually a thing. If you double tap a direction, it makes you go in that direction much faster. I think that's about it, really. So, graphically, the game looks very nice. I like the design of this dude, of Baphomet. You have the big Bahanaga, you know, demon archer ladies, you know. You got... Yeah, go away. I don't care. Go away. You got these guys that look like they're kind of out of an old cartoon. I don't know which one. Maybe, like, Invader Zim or something, but... I don't know. Cleft Chin guy... Fairly Odd Parents. I don't know. Reminds me of something. Don't know what. I like the fact that that explodes for some reason. I don't know, magical energies. It looks cool. It's a cool thing that's happening in the background, but yeah, it's just kind of a proof of concept, if anything. Alright, Baphomet, you gonna do anything? You just gonna... Here, can I pick you up? Nope, can't pick up... well... Taking their time, huh? There you go. Not just to wait for that for half an hour because it's a giant stone tomb. Oh, it's actually not taking them that long. That's kind of an anticlimactic explosion. You have a tower in the background that is basically like the Stalker blowout happening every once in a while, and then you know, this demonic lord dying is just kind of a... I don't know, it's kind of pathetic comparatively. Alright, well, that is Demon's Revival in its current form. Again, it's not even really a game demo. There really isn't a whole heck of a lot to do there, is there? It looks nice, but what is there to say? There's really not much for me to judge right now. It's like, okay, if it had the building mechanics here, I could chime in on that, you know, oh hey, you know, it feels like, you know, this building might be a little too expensive, or this one doesn't do much, or, you know, like, hey, it's actually a pretty good mechanic. There's... the only thing you can choose is basically either telling the demons to go away, which most of the time they attack you anyway, letting a group of demons join you, or you can pick them up and then fling them a little bit. Yeah, there really isn't much here right now, unfortunately. But it does look good. I don't know if I have enough energy to do another one, because it's now it's been an hour and a half about. Alright, you know what? We'll take a quick look at another one. I'll give it maybe up to half an hour, and it's another one where it's basically just a single EXE. Yep, and there's the UAC popping up. So again, if this... I don't know why there's been so many of these like this right now. Just loose EXEs with no other associated files. So let's see, is it... Nope. No, it has not actually made new files in the folder I put it into. So, this is Hand of Hexes. Hand of Hexes is, from what I read of the description, a deck building tower defense. I would call this pretty minimalist for a couple of reasons, and it might not necessarily be a good thing. It is having a lot of papercraft, or, you know, it's got a very certain type of style to it. You can see, like, right there, it's kind of like a sticker. You know, everything is kind of got its style here. There's also a lot of cats. So if you're allergic, well, stay away. This is a Kevin MacLeod song? Doesn't really sound like his work. I say that like he's really got any number of styles. Okay. So you might see why I'm saying it might be minimalist, but not necessarily to a good degree. You could also see it in the options menu there on how nothing has any words. Okay. Is this a skull? Is this like a mushroom that's losing bits of its head? Okay, ASWD does nothing. Oh, it's showing the pathway. Gnomes did that too. Wait. No. No, 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 no. Can I reset? They're kind of a miserable thing to start off with for defense. I'm not even sure. What are they supposed to be? Are they supposed to be frogs? And why are we fighting dudes in plague doctors outfits? Like, do they want to harm the wizard witch cat, or... Okay, Qualler, 3-star. I don't know what that does. It's a tower. -1 star? Is that our hell? No. And then it has an icon for the things that are spitting to the left? I don't know. Okay, well, this map seems to be... What the hell? Why is a koala having demon horns? Actually, all of them. All of them have demon horns. The snail has demon horns, the owl has demon horns, the dolphin has demon horns. The snail having demon horns, though, I think is the funniest one. So... Hand of Hexes. So far... You start off with a kind of miserable assortment of towers. They really don't build any amount of confidence. Oh, that is interactable. You can use that. I thought that was just a part of the HUD that was just a static image like this. Like you can't click on that, you can't click on your hearts. Why are we fighting dudes in condoms? Oh, okay, he's gone now. Alright, bye, I guess. What? I know I'm not really saying much right now. Okay, so yeah, that's actually just destroying the thing. I know I'm not saying much. It's... a lot of it is me trying to figure out what a lot of this shit is even doing. Octopus does not seem like he's very good. Oh, quite frankly, most of these things never seem like they're very good. I'm sorry? But there's still baddies left. What happened? Did it glitch? I don't know how many waves there are, or how many maps. I don't know if this is infinite and it just keeps generating new stuff or not. So, the music is Kevin MacLeod. I can't say anything about the music. They're just using Kevin MacLeod. So, the music is sufficient. The sound effects are... they're fine, I guess. Like, they're not terrible. The actual gameplay is... well, it feels like it is just a hell of a lot of guesswork, and it really kind of is, and they kind of really intend it to be as such. So... the game is setting out to do what it wants to do, I think. I believe. I believe this is what they want the game to be. I don't know why. the lack of a lot of information on a lot of these things makes it kinda... I don't know. It kind of feels like things are arbitrarily obfuscated for no real reason. I also don't know if that's a glitch, because I thought the... I don't know. It seems like it's supposed to be not just strictly in the bottom right and kind of cut off. It feels like it's supposed to be more of like pushed to the left a little bit, but I don't know. A lot of the waves are also extremely short, and that's kind of for better and worse, especially involving... Okay, that's a lot of bad guys for once, and the koala is just... I don't hate the game, it's just... Could you... Yeah. Yeah, you could. That... You can turn it into an absolute abomination. I don't know what the snail does. The bees seem like they might be good. What if you combined koala and the... Is that a checkbox? No. Oh. Oh, that's just a spell. Well, I thought that was a trap. Obviously not. The koala has become massive. Is the koala able to buff himself now? Not really sure. If he is, it doesn't seem like... Nah, that one is going mental though. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe there should be an option to get more information. I don't know. I'm getting pretty tired here, so part of the reason why I'm not saying what weird demon mushroom thing. What is it? The devil's bullet or something like that? Oh, I guess. Very literally, devil-ish this time as well, because they have actual little devil horns too, so... I like my demon duck. I gotta force him in that corner there. What just happened? Wait, did I just glitch it? Did I click something? Oh, I won. How'd I win? Won. Okay. I won! I don't know how. That game is 700 megabytes, by the way. It is kind of large for what is just a kind of cute little tower defense game. Okay, so I'm gonna try to collect my thoughts as best as I can, because I was not really saying much. I wasn't really formulating proper coherent sentences, because I'm properly tired by the end of this now. Graphically, I like the graphics. The game is cute. I like the papercraft nature of the graphics and the art design of it. It's done well. I think that part is done well. The sound effects, yeah, they're alright. You know, serviceable. They fit the bill. Maybe some of them could do with a little bit of a rework, but it's overall fine. The lack of any real information on what a lot of it is doing. This is like a very good example of a game that does not have a tutorial. Some games have an unnecessary tutorial. And then you have this game that has no tutorial whatsoever. It doesn't even give you words. It just expects you to pick it up and learn. And that can definitely be a problem. I don't... outside of the credits menu, I don't know if there is a single word in the game. The RNG nature of it's a roguelike deck building TD game. That is... I had some trouble there in the beginning because the... whatever you want to call them, the frog statue towers? I don't know what half of these things are. They don't have names attributed to them. You know, you had the demon duck. You had the devil mushroom thing by the end there that I don't think I actually got to use at all. You had the bee's nest and whatnot, but I don't know what the heck, what those things are supposed to be. They kind of remind me of the desert rain frog. So I think they're a frog, but I got no idea. You starting off with only those that can only shoot to the left kind of sucks. I think you should at least get a second tower in the very beginning, even if it's only a single one of them. The maps. The extremely randomized nature of them, at least at the very beginning there, really also kind of sucked when it's like, okay, so your towers only shoot left, and then, well, you have no way of really getting the towers to ever really manage to get a hit in onto the enemies going for your cat. But yeah, no, it got better later on. I don't hate it. I kind of like it even, but the lack of information in the game of just stuff you can actually properly read, I'm not a fan of. even if you were going to hide them behind tooltips, I don't know. I'm not particularly fond of that. I'm a little mixed on it. It's okay. Like I said, the graphics, the papercraft is easily the best part of the game. The tower defense aspects of it are completely fine once you start getting into the run and start getting a wider variety of them. And you know, obviously it was fairly easy, but again, it's like one of those things of you don't get a lot of information, you kind of need to do a lot of guesswork. And well, I took the koala can't really attack seemingly on its own, but well, it can turn the, you know, if it keeps buffing the tower, it will make that thing just seemingly infinitely scale in attack speed and just become a constant barrage. The difficulty also seems to scale up quite dramatically at some points because you go from, you know, 4 or 5 enemies per wave to I don't even know how many. It just seemed like a constant stream of them past a point. I think there's also a few glitches there. I think I was able to basically skip entire waves. I don't know if it was the end boss just getting absolutely, you know, slammed by the towers, but some of those fights, especially the boss fights, I think ended sooner than they should have, and I don't remember which fight it was, but there were still, I think it was the Plague Doctors still under their little camp where they're spawning. Oh, I don't really know what's going on there. I'm gonna go to sleep now, though. I probably shouldn't have done this game as an extra because I became very tired very quickly during that. Brain turned to absolute mush. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Have a good night, folks.